Hi everyone, welcome to the Unit 5 lesson for melodic dictation. For this week, we're not really adding anything new. We're just going to make the dictations a bit longer and the bass line is going to get more active and the right hand might get a bit more active also. So let's go ahead and jump in and get started. Okay, so we again have a nice little exercise in Auralia, and you can link to it through the assignment that's this video is part of if you want to play along, or you can do it again after you watch the video if you want to give it another try on your own. So let's look at what we have. First of all, we have rhythmic dictation first, and then we're going to do the melody. So the rhythm will be its own score and the melody will be its own score. That is how it's going to work, and I think it will work pretty nicely. So let's go ahead and set up our papers for what we have here. Okay, so I have my ones and my twos. You can write that above the staff if you would like. And then I'm going to draw on my eighth note marks. Okay, so we will have 16th notes, but I'm not going to put 16th note marks because it gets really overwhelming. But if you want to think about what goes here, it's 1, la, li, 2, la, li. And then your tas and ts will go in between there. So it'd be 1. So if we had a bunch of 16th notes, it would be 1, ta, la, ta, li, ta. Okay? Let's give it a listen. We're going to do 2 listings for the left hand, get as much as you can, and then we'll do 2 listings for the right hand. Okay, one more listening for the left hand. Okay, so check over what you have written down. I'm going to show you the marks, the rhythm marks, in just a second. Okay, here you go. So 1 la li, 2 la li, 1 la li, 2 la li, 1 la li ta. No set is in there for that ta. 2 la li, 1 la li. Okay, pause the video, translate that into rhythm marks, and I'll show you the answers in just a second when you come back. Okay, ready? Here's the answer. So let's try and clap and count this. It's a great way to check your work. Even if you have an extra plane and you clap and count it out loud, it can help you check what you've got. So 1 la li, 2 la li, 1 la li, 2 la li, 1 la li ta, 2 la li, 1 la li, 2 la li. Okay, good, not bad. Let's try out the right hand. This one is, there's a lot of 16th, as you may have heard. Okay, so give it a try. 2 listenings, and let's. Okay, if you're not already doing it, count out loud. So let's do one more listening. I'm just going to count the 1 la li. Okay, so, and I'm going to count because there are a lot of 16ths. I'm going to count 1 ta la ta li ta. Count with me. 2 ta la ta li ta. 1 ta la ta li ta. 2 ta la ta li ta. 1 ta la ta li ta. 2 ta la ta li ta. 1 ta la ta li ta. 2 ta la ta li ta. 1 ta la ta li ta. 2 ta la ta li ta. Okay, so we end on a big old dotted half note. So let's do our rhythm marks. Okay, so go ahead again, pause the video and translate this into rhythm marks and check what I just put in against what you have on your paper. Okay, and then we'll come back and see the answer. Okay, show you the answer right now. Okay, good. So here is the right hand. Let's clap and count it. 1 la li, 2 la li. 1 ta la ta li ta. 2 la li. 1 la li. 2 ta la ta li ta. 1 la li. 2 la li. Okay, good. Let's go on to the next step. Okay, let's take one listening just to map it out because we do have a lot of leaps. We now have alternative opening options which could come into play. So you could have a 1 to a 6 or a 1 to a 3 or 1 to maybe a 4, probably not. Or it could just be tonic expansion. So take a listen. We are moving, I'll give you a hint, we're moving 1 chord per beat, really. And also this is a half measure, so it will end on the and of beat 2. So you're going to have 5/8 notes basically instead of 6 to complete. Okay, so listen and make some notes on your paper. This is going to be minor because it's going to be a 1 chord, obviously. What is this chord? Is it major, minor, or dominant? See if you can pick that out. I know it's a little bit more difficult because it is melodic dictation. Is this major, minor, or dominant? And is this major, minor, dominant? Also, does this feel like a 1? Does it return to the 1 chord or does it end on like a 5? Okay, give it a listen. So maybe you got some ideas, maybe you didn't. Let's dig into the bass and see what we get. Okay, so on my paper, I have something along the lines of it goes up, not sure if it's a step or skip, and then it stays on the same pitch, and then it does a big old triadic outline. We just don't know what inversion we're in. And then it goes down, and then it goes up, and I'm fairly sure we end on do. Okay, listen again, see if you can fill in some of those gaps. Okay. So do, re, mi, do, mi. Is it do, re, or do, mi? It's mi. And then here. Now, I'm not sure what's going on here. I mean, I am because I have the answer. But if I wasn't, I would just kind of leave this alone because there's a lot of skips. I don't know what it is. And what I'm going to do is wait and see what's going on in the right hand and then give it my best guess. Okay, and then I know we end on do. So a question might be, is this note, what is the relationship of this note here to this note here? That could help us out if you can hear that. And then what's the relationship of this note to this note and this note? Okay, I will tell you it is this is a T do, and that's a dotted quarter. Okay, so give that a listen. I'm going to put this up here because we don't actually know what it is. E sharp, because it's T. Okay, T, do. And then this is going to be at the end, it's a quarter, full quarter. Okay, try it out. Okay, so let's say that you're in a test situation and you have limited listenings and you don't have time to go back and listen to this. So we're going to move on to the right hand and see if we can make sense of what's going on here. Okay, because remember, vertical harmonies can help you solve problems. Okay, so right hand, get the first few notes and then see if you can figure out where it ends up over on B2 over here. So what I just wrote in was something along the lines of, this was fairly easy. Me, re, do, big old leap. Then it comes down and it just descends stepwise. And then I think if I remember correctly, it goes up and then down. Or maybe not. Let's listen to it again. Okay, we got that much, so we're doing pretty good. Okay, so I'll go ahead and put in me, re, do. So voice crossing here. So whatever this leap is going to make sense with A and maybe this note. Okay, the note that goes here. Okay, one thing that I heard is that there's a descending pattern. I'm just going to put in some fake notes so I can talk intelligently about this. So it's roughly our rhythm. There's 16th notes here, and then there's this 8th. One thing that I heard is that this 8th here is the same note as this leap. So given that, let's see if we can figure some stuff out. So here we have an F. So it's safe to assume that we're ending on some sort of 5 and some sort of 1. So what's the 5 chord in F major? C sharp? In F sharp minor. C sharp, E sharp, G sharp, and B is the 5-7. So we're going to have some kind of assemblage of that. And then here we have F and something that makes sense with F up here. So we could have a 1 chord, or we could have a deceptive cadence. So it could be the 6 chord. Okay, so let's explore our options with this chord because we have a leap. So like listening for it didn't make a lot of sense. Although you may have picked out by now, if you're smart, you grabbed that this note here is do, ti, do. So we have an F and an A. So it's either a 1 chord, which would be minor, a 1/6 chord, or it's a 6 chord, which would be major. Now, this big leap up here, is it an octave leaping all the way up to F sharp? That's a really big leap. Is it a 6th leading up to D, which would give us a 6 chord? Any other options? D, F, and A would be, it would sound very hollow and it would only be a third, so that's not really a leap. It could be a C for FAC, which would be this if it was F. Or is it this? I'm going to guess that it's this, partly because I felt like this was major when I was listening to it before. And then if it's this, it sets up really nicely for the 5 chord, because then that would give, it descends here, so that would give us a C against the E sharp. If it's a C, so look at this, if this were a C and it descended, it would give us a B, which would be the 5/7. But let's play this out. We know that it goes down by 16ths. And then it leaps up to the same pitch that it started on. And then it goes up by step to the next note, which would give us an open 5th here, and it would be the same note here. So do we have, what's this interval? Is it an open 5th? Or if we move this up a step, because if this is D, then everything else moves up a step. Or is it a 6th, 5th or 6th? Listen to it. See what you think about the vertical harmonies here. Also, is this a compound third or is it a 6th? That's a little bit harder here. And is this a leap of a 5th or a leap of a 6th? So lots of things to listen for to help you figure this out. I hear a consonants here, not a perfect interval. So I'm going to say this is a D. And this, do, 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 Okay, so let's play this out. So, do, lay. That seems to make a lot of sense to me. Hopefully it does to you too. Lay, sol, fa, me, re. Sol, lay, me. Let's see if that's the answer. Okay. We got it. Let's listen once more. Okay. So our next playing is going to start here, and then we only have it let us put that note in, but it didn't need it. Quirks of the system. So you'll start writing here. Okay, so you'll see the second measure, but you'll only need to write 2 notes in it, and then you'll go on and take the rest of it. You'll see what I mean in a second. Okay, so see, we have the whole first measure, and it did add in that note. So I think I did something wrong there. I'll fix that before passing it on to you guys. So we've got that there, and then we're going to fill in these two measures. Now, we know that this last bar ends on a dotted half note, and let's go ahead and take a wild guess here that the bass ends on an F sharp dotted half. Okay, so we really only have two measures to fill in, plus like a couple of notes. Let's give it a shot. So just get the left hand to begin with. You could do a mapping listening too, but let's just do the left hand. Ideally, you would have 6 listenings. 1 for initial mapping, 2 for the left hand, 2 for the right hand. That gives you 5, and then 1 more to check your work. That's kind of a lot. Okay, you're probably leaning towards I need 3 for the bass and 3 for the right hand. So maybe a couple more listenings are in order, at least until you start to get stronger at it. So let's get the left hand. One thing that I heard, what I was going to say is that one thing that I definitely heard is T-do at the end. Let's go ahead and give it another listen. So you're listening for steps versus skips. There's this big motion here, and then there's a leap here, but you don't really even need to get that because you know that's T-do. You just need to know where it ends. Okay, so listen for where are your steps and where are your skips. So now remember here, you have a D chord. So what makes the most sense is to skip down to D. Okay, set up that voice exchange. And it's also a skip step. Okay, but then we have a step. It's all stepwise. So let's switch the voices around and get the right hand. So see if you can get the last note and see if you can get these 2 notes here. So we end on an octave. So we end on F. Otherwise it would be a third. Consonants, octave. Or consonants, perfect. It's perfect, so it's an octave. And then this is all getting down there. So listen, so it goes dum, bum, bum, bum. So it's imitative. So it's going to be E, G. But look, we have a C, so most likely that's an E sharp. That's our 7th scale degree. And this is going to be a quarter note. Let's look at this. This kind of makes sense. And then it goes down by step. And I think it's just running down the scale. Let's see if that works out. Uh-oh. So something's going on here. So we need a skip somewhere in here. So listen carefully and see if you can hear where that skip is. Okay? Tricky, right? But if the skip is here, that might kind of make sense because it's really hitting home the E, G, and B. Okay, so let's say that this is it. Let's take one more listen. I think this is it, but let's kind of sing along and see if we are right, okay? Okay, so let's take a look. Good. Okay. All set. Wonderful. So now you're going to go to Aurelia and do a bunch of practice. So you're going to do this practice for this week. You'll do the practice assignment, and then you'll do the test. And then for the next unit, it is just extra credit assignment that will mimic this week's assignment, and then a practice midterm. And then after that, you will do the midterm as it's posted. Okay? That's it. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.